Show Baltimore Ravens win 27-19 over the Minnesota Vikings to improve to 4-5. 3 straight wins for the Ravens. Minnesota falls to 4-5. Good football game. Ravens wasn't scoring a lot of touchdowns early on, and then they started to get some touchdowns in the second half. They had 9 points at halftime, and they finished up with 27 points. So since Lamar's been back, they've scored 28 points, and they scored 27 points. So when we say Lamar Jackson is the MVP, that's exactly what we mean. Lamar Jackson, when Lamar Jackson's on the field, things happen. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens when Lamar Jackson's on the field. Queen Lolo, welcome into the Double R Postgame Show. Happy Purple Sunday. Hope you're feeling well, beautiful. It's great to see you. All right, let's go over the numbers real fast. Lamar Jackson, his second game back, 17 of 29, 176 yards, a touchdown pass. He also ran for 9 carries for 36 yards. Derrick Henry, 20 carries, 75 yards. Keaton Mitchell, 4 carries for 31 yards. Zay Flowers, the high man, 4 catches for 75 yards. J.J. McCarthy, 20 of 42, 248 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks. He also had 48 yards rushing. Aaron Jones, 47 yards rushing. Naylor had 100 yards receiving, not Justin Jefferson. Addison had 35 yards. J.J. had 37 yards. Let's look at the team stats. First downs, Ravens 23, Vikings 18. Total plays about even, 66 plays for the Ravens, 61 for the Vikings. Total yards of offense. Minnesota had more yards of offense, but it's all about the scoreboard at the end of the day. Both teams had the same amount of drives. Minnesota had a fumble or a turnover on 2 straight possessions. So yeah, Ravens averaged 4.9 yards per play. Minnesota averaged 6 yards a play and still lost this game. They passed the ball for more than the Ravens, 245 yards, but you were losing majority of the second half, so that makes sense. Ravens only had 169 yards passing, but they got the job done. They ran the ball when they needed to. 152 yards rushing for the Ravens to 120 rushing yards for the Vikings. Yards per rush. The Vikings had 6.7 yards per carry. Ravens only had 4.2. So, I mean, Minnesota, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, y'all. Here's the key thing. You lost a turnover game. Minnesota had 3 turnovers. The Ravens played clean football with 0 turnovers. So you could be winning in every stat, but but the scoreboard and the turnovers will usually dictate a game. And Minnesota turned the ball over 3 times. McCarthy's 2 interceptions, and then the fumble on the kickoff return. It was costly. So yeah, the Ravens time of possession 32 minutes to 27. So Ravens did what they need to do. The beautiful thing about the Ravens now is the Ravens are going to be playing we play the Jets I thought we played the Jets next week. So we got to go to Cleveland and play the Browns. And that's never an easy game. Regardless, Cleveland has a good defense, and Myles Garrett is Myles Garrett, and he going to tear up that offensive line. So, but I don't think the Browns have enough offensive fire unless Shedeur Sanders is going to start that game, which you never know. But unless Shedeur Sanders is starting, I'm not really worried about. I mean, even if Shedeur did start, I'm still not worried. But it is the Browns, and they are a familiar opponent. But the Ravens got a chance to go on a run here, bro. They got the Browns, then they got the Jets, then they got to play the Bengals. That crazy enough, that Bengals game is actually going to be the hardest game of this stretch because you got to play the Bengals 2 times in 3 weeks. And granted, they don't play no defense. They don't play no defense, but they got Joe Flacco, and you got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. And Flacco, you already know Flacco got a big arm. He can get the ball to these receivers. He had 460-some yards passing a week ago in that loss to the Jets. So Joe Flacco been flinging that ball around. That's not an easy game. But if you can beat the Browns and then beat the Jets, what is that? We'll be at 6-5? So we were just 1-5. We had the potential to go 6-5 here. Now let's take one game at a time here. But the Ravens have found their mojo back. And this is what I was saying to everybody out there that was tripping over the 1-5 start. I'm like, bro, we got injuries. Lamar's not playing. John Harbaugh is being Harbaugh again. They're not running Derrick Henry. You know, and the defense was atrocious. Well, let's look at it. 4 weeks later, defense got better. Lamar got healthy. Roquan got healthy. Marlon Humphrey got healthy. You know what I'm saying? You got Patrick Ricard back. You traded Jair Alexander, who was one of the main reasons why the defense was so trash, because Jair Alexander got hurt in preseason, and he never been the same since then. So, and then you just traded for a linebacker to increase your pass rush. So, the Ravens are making strides to be a better football team each and every week. Because you got to remember, it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. And I always remain confident, even though as bad as that Texans game was, that was one of the worst games to watch as a Ravens fan. That Texans game was awful to watch. But I felt like if they get Lamar back, they can make some magic happen here. And so Lamar has never played a game where the Ravens were under 500, except the rookie year when the Ravens were 4-5. So this is the first time Lamar Jackson has had to play on a Ravens team that was under 500. Every time Lamar plays and starts, the Ravens are above 500 team. So this is something new for Lamar. He has to kind of I take that back. They started 0-2 last year. Excuse me. They started 0-2 last year with Lamar being there. But this is very, very rare that the Ravens were so many games under 500 and with Lamar played. So now, y'all want to say Lamar Jackson wasn't the MVP last season when he should have won the MVP last year. He's getting ready to prove his value because the Ravens are getting ready to win majority of these next couple games coming up. And I don't know when the season's over if he's going to be able to qualify to win the MVP because he missed a couple games. But regardless of the fact, you know Lamar's value. If he can take a 1-5 team to the playoffs and win 10 games and get to the play, he's the most valuable player in the league. But obviously we're jumping ahead of the gun. It's still early. But I'm just saying, not that Lamar Jackson had to prove his value any more than what he's already done. But if he takes this team that was 1-5 to 10 wins and win a playoff game or 2 or 3 and a Super Bowl, he's no doubt the most valuable player in the NFL. I don't care about no damn Josh Allen. You just seen it. We just went to Miami, beat that same Dolphins team with no problem. Josh Allen goes down there, and they lay a stinker. So who's the MVP? I'll let you guys decide that. Baltimore Ravens win 27-19 to go to 4-5 on the year. Minnesota is 4-5. Both teams are 4-5 now. So shout out to the Baltimore Ravens for getting their third win. We're going to listen to the press conferences in a bit, and then